Hello there and welcome along. The Gardener Ben here with your next rose review, and an utter beauty at that. I've chosen this one to actually cut and bring to you sat down today because I didn't feel that the camera was going to do justice to hopes and dreams properly. This particular rose is absolutely astonishing and fits into that very difficult category of either lavender or lavender blue roses, which are incredibly difficult to breed. Hopes and Dreams is available in the UK through Peterbilt's Roses and goes under several different names. So if you're joining me from a different geographical location, not here in the UK, please do check the caption or the title for this particular video where I've put its seedling code and other branded names alongside. But Hopes and Dreams is absolutely astonishing. If you're looking for something very delicate, something very soft and gentle, this is a rose that you might want to look out for. Reaching around 80 centimeters high and around 80 to 90 centimeters wide, this is a really lovely rose for planting in full sun or partial shade. Just make sure that if you can, when you plant it in the garden, it gets about 5 to 6 hours of direct sunlight per day, and you try and wherever possible give it morning sun. Now I'm going to say morning sun for a reason, because if it gets the afternoon sun on it, you're going to get a little bit of scorching and a little bit of bleaching to the color, which unfortunately is going to take away a little bit of its character and charm. It adds to its sort of unique antique aging. But in my opinion, you really want to protect the colour, if at all possible, by planting it in morning sun rather than afternoon sun. So make sure that the spot you choose in the garden goes into shade or dappled shade by around 2:30 in the afternoon, and just protect it from the major heat of the actual afternoon sun. Hopes and Dreams is really rather lovely, and let's start off with its foliage. It's fairly small and compact. The foliage is really quite petite for the actual size of the plant, say reaching around 80 centimeters, just shy of around 3 feet. So it's quite a substantial shrub, suitable for growing either at the front, midsection of a border, or maybe you want to grow this one in a large patio container. And you might want to grow it in a container because it has a really beautiful perfume. So you kind of probably want to get right up and close and personal with it. Bringing it ever so slightly up off the floor is going to enable you to do that. But the foliage is really quite petite, almost patio rose in its size, very small. I'll give you my hand for comparison. It really is quite dainty. A dark emerald green, quite tough and waxy to the touch. It's not very delicate at all. It feels really quite robust in its makeup. There's no barbing and no mossing to the back of the leaf axil there. It's all nice and clear. Actually, the thorn count on the rose is overall quite low. So I'll bring it to the camera for you so you can see. They really are very tiny indeed, and very easy just to simply knock off if you want to cut Hopes and Dreams and bring it into the house. So the thorns are going to cause you no problems whatsoever. They are there, but they're not particularly large at all. Producing flowers freely all the way through June, July, August, September. Very end of September, this one is going to finish flowering. So a nice long 4-month flowering period on this one. Flowers are produced individually and in small sprays of up to 3s, 4s and 5s at a time. When they're produced in sprays, you're going to find them ever so slightly smaller. This little spray here, for instance, you can see the difference in the size of bloom produced. Ranging in size from anything about 2 inches across to anything in the region of about 3 to 3.5 inches in diameter. But it's the colour of this one which is absolutely extraordinary. Let's put all those back together so you can see them there for a second all together. Violet dusty pink is the colour, a sort of a violet blue with notes of dusty pink and antique pink to it. It really is quite enchanting. I even put a pale blue shirt on today to try and highlight the colour for you, because it really is lovely. The flower opens almost completely flat. If I bring this one back out again and show you the profile, this one is starting to blow out. The petals will ever so slightly roll back to the stem there and give you a lovely side profile. And as the plant completely ages, exposing its cluster of stamens right in the very center. This one is really lovely and very different. Lots of you always asking for blue and violet, this kind of colored rose. So this one really Hopes and Dreams, really good for that. Fantastic for giving someone as a special gift. Maybe someone is getting married, maybe someone is retiring, maybe someone is graduating and you want to mark a special occasion or a moment in their life. Hopes and dreams, I think, is a really good one for that. Maybe you actually want to mark the passing of someone, and memorial roses are always very, very difficult to suggest. But I think hopes and dreams would do the job very, very nicely, not only because it's beautiful color, but it also has a really, really lovely fragrance. Again, a very, very deep contrast between the two here. It has a rich and warm citrusy fragrance with damask notes. So it's much cleaner on the palate. It's much fresher on the palate than you would expect the old roses to be. There are notes of floral, there are floral notes in there as well, but it's very damask based and it's quite strong. Today, I'm going to be rating Hopes and Dreams with a 6 out of 10 for its fragrance rating. I'm going to be giving it a low to medium thorn count and awarding it a 6 out of 10 for disease resistance. This rose really is very, very pretty indeed. I'm going to continue my home trials with it in a vase at home. I'm estimating this one is going to last really, really quite nicely. So fantastic for cutting and bringing into the house just because of its texture. After a while doing this, you learn a little bit about the texture of roses, and these ones with ever so slightly thicker, waxy petals, and the ones that cover the stamens in the very center of the plant tend to last a little bit longer on in a vase than they do outside on the plant. This one is really quite lovely. This one is Rose Hopes and Dreams, available under several different names across the world, so please do check the caption, and available here in the UK through Peter Beals Roses.